For those of you that don't know my story, I've been known for having a really radical transformation. For me, who I am as a person and the life and world that I lead, the company that I've built and the friends that I have, it's indescribably different compared to who I used to be. You know, after high school, towards the second semester of senior year, I fell completely off the train. I mean, I just about kicked my life off a cliff into pleasure hell. I sunk in the bottom of that abyss behind the bottle, behind the drugs, and I plunged into the deepest gypsy pit you could imagine. And gypsy is, I know there's the culture behind whoever the gypsies might actually be, but to me, the gypsy is the wild one in American society. The one that just rides off into the wilderness, the hipster that just gets on the bus, smokes the weed, and travels the country sleeping on couches and on the ground outside behind dumpsters and doesn't give a fuck. You only live once, right? That used to be me. That is not me anymore. I made a critical change 7 years down that road. I've been to jail 7 times. I've spent months behind bars, all for underage drinking, if you can believe it. All before the age of 21 in a 3-year blitz of insanity. And I kept it up, not to the same degree after I turned 21. But I didn't change things around until I was about 25. I started the gym years before that, and that first helped drag me out of everything. And I started eating well and reducing the amount of drinking and drugs that I did. And it started giving me a more clear mind, you know, because living in the dark, you can only live in the dark if you're full of, you know, usually trauma and self-deception. You just plunge into this pit and you're around people that you can't trust. They're usually liars, exaggerators, narcissists, self-serving, you know. What else is an alcoholic besides someone that's extraordinarily self-focused on their own addiction, right? For the moment, at least, you know, there might be an amazing person deep down underneath all that mess. Not to say I was an alcoholic. I was more of a party and social holic that lived wild as I possibly ever could every day. I didn't care. I wanted to live it up, and because fuck it, I can always get my life together once I turn 30. But I quickly realized that you play with fire, you're going to get burned over and over and over, and you plunge into this road deeper and deeper to the point bad things just happen to you. Bad luck just comes your way. You don't know why the fuck things are going on. You're getting cheated on. This is happening. That's happening. You're in jail. You're broke. You get evicted. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know how to control it. You start losing any certainty and belief in yourself and confidence in yourself that you can get things around. And that's the life that I chose to live for a long time. And I lived in this bubble, you know, with a lot of other friends and a lot of other people like that. And I got so sick and tired of it that I decided to just take a stand and choose something different. I started working for a contractor, and I learned the roofing trade and other home improvement trades, right? And I liked the freedom that gave me. I also didn't realize how much money that you could make by speaking with homeowners and organizing work to be done on their homes, because the home's the most important thing. Things always need to be fixed around the home. And what a greater job than, you know, you can sit behind a desk all day. You know, even me filming behind the camera right now isn't exactly that pleasurable compared to sitting across the couch from somebody, learning about who they are, their life, and going over a business deal and making money for it. You know, and to tell you the truth, when I started, I could not speak. I could not look someone in the eyes. I had no confidence. I had stripped myself of any confidence by living in just fear and always cowering and drinking liquid confidence to artificially, you know, what would you say, lubricate my mind and, lubricate social situations and kind of slither in and just be cool and have a good time. But no one respected me, and I didn't respect myself. But when I started in business, I could not look someone in the eyes. It took me many years of training myself and awareness and conscious focus and building confidence and self-esteem to be able to look someone in the eyes as I spoke with them and to be able to actually connect with human beings and be able to listen to them. I was known as the worst listener of all time by many people, customers, girlfriends, employees, ex-girlfriends, right? And the first time I ever knocked on somebody's door or even called someone on the phone, I was shaking. My voice was shaking. I couldn't even look them in the eyes. I couldn't talk. I'm just shifting, looking at the ground. I remember my first voicemails I tried to leave for somebody. I couldn't leave a voicemail. When they would pick up the phone and I'm calling for an important reason, I would just my voice would stutter, my mind would go blank, and I would just hang up, right? But I realized that people become who they are by changing a little bit each day, just a little bit, just step by step by step. It's a journey. Some people had a big head start on the journey. Say Donald Trump, he started off with respectable, business-minded, extremely confident and courageous, conscientious parents, so he's socializing with business executives at the age of 3, waddling around the house. He's absorbing all of this. So people have massive head starts and have different starting lines and different DNA templates. But all of us are built on human platforms that we are built and made to be able to adapt, to be able to survive and thrive if we choose to. But it just takes a little bit of edge and a little bit of work every single day, chipping away and learning and learning and learning. And you learn by the environments that you're in. You learn by the people that you're around. You learn by what you put yourself in. If I put you in front of the TV and I force you to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians for 5 years straight, every minute, versus making you watch Shark Tank and the greatest presidential speeches of all time for 5 years, who would you be by the end of that 5-year period? You would be and feel like two completely different human beings. Imagine what you would speak like. I didn't used to speak in the way I do. I didn't used to have the cadence and the tonality and the confidence and courage that I have right now. And I say that to inspire you and to let you know that many things are possible for a human, any human. Change is possible in everybody. All it takes is effort every single day in the right direction and being in environments that force that change out of you. So now I've built up a, multi-million-dollar company. God, as cheesy as that sounds, but I don't worry about money. I haven't worried about money in 6 years, 7 years. I always worried about money to a degree, I don't want to have to take some business loan out to fund this month's overhead because we're in a tight spot right now. I was growing too quick. There's been times like that, of course, every entrepreneur has had, but I don't worry anymore about that kind of stuff. I'm more worried about, oh my God, am I fulfilling my purpose? Am I doing everything right? Am I going to get there in time? Am I going to get all I want in this world as fast as I can, first world problems, right? So I want you to know that just like my story, the little bit of my story that I've shared with you, anything is possible. Well, most anything, as long as it's meant for you. It's got to be something that makes you come alive and feel good. Not everybody could step into my shoes and feel good. The fuck? We're not all the same people. I have 5 siblings, 2 parents, and none of them would feel the same way that I do in my shoes. There is only one sibling that I have that I know with confidence could actually handle all of the things that I do and would enjoy it to a degree, not to the same degree. Everybody's different. So it's up to you to figure out what's your purpose, what's your mission. But you can only do that by deciding to and by consciously creating and changing your environment. Something that I've done, something that I have right now. I cannot access any social media app on my phone at all. Nothing. I can't even download them. The app store is blocked from me. How do I do that? And how do I not get around these blocks? I actually have usually an employee or an assistant or a manager. I have them use the screen time passcode system in my iPhone to lock the passwords, use a password that they know and they save in their iPhone notes or whatever to make sure they don't forget it, to lock my phone like that. I actually cannot text anybody before the time of 1:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. You know, my TV, I rip the cable out of the back and I put it in my truck. Now, not everybody has to do this. Some people have a lot of crazy willpower, but I don't think that's most people right now. TikTok's too damn good. This shit's way too pleasurable. Netflix, these fucking shows, just turn on The Expanse and just sit there and watch that. You know, turn on Game of Thrones, turn on Westworld, these amazing TV shows, and fuck, it's hard to look away. You know, I don't blame anybody for not having a problem with this stuff, you know, or for having a problem with this stuff. But I want you to know that you are capable of a mission, a destiny that's set out and carved for you. That's insane to know. You know, it's your life. And the meaning of life is to learn and adapt and to discover your purpose on this earth, to find out what makes you come alive and do more of that in a way that's sustainable and healthy for you and your loved ones or your future loved ones and humanity itself across time. You might think you come alive at the nightclub, popping ecstasy, staying up till 4 a.m., but synthetic pleasure isn't exactly coming alive. Something that makes you come alive has all senses on: dopamine, serotonin, pleasure, you know, fulfillment, purpose, drive, contribution being a major one, your spirit, your human spirit, all cranking on at the same time, you know. And life isn't going to be like that, by the way. When you're trying to build some vision for yourself and build some life, you're going to be doing a lot of mundane things, but you'll be driven with a sense of purpose and a desire to do these mundane things, these painful things, because you know it's going to help you put together a life that's more and more in alignment and in a purpose for you. And it's so incredible, you know. 7 years ago, I was just drifting around in a $400 a month roach-infested trap house, you know, hustling to survive, not looking for what's going to happen past next week. No real dreams of the future. I didn't know I was capable of what I was capable of. I just lived in the dark, just suffering away on this meaningless, monotonous, numbing pleasure loop of scroll for miles on the feed, drink the drink, eat the junk food, just sustain that kind of numbing life. But you and me are capable of so much more than that. And I want you to know that, because knowing that and believing that is one of the most fundamental things that can ever happen to a human being. And by the way, there's not some like snap moment where it's like, oh my God, I can change my life. It never happens like that. It's slow. It's like a burning fire in the back of your mind. It starts with just a little spark and a little decision made in a moment, a snap of your fingers to do something different, to change, to move, and to get in a different spot in life, to just make a better decision. And it compounds. It's momentum. It's exponential. It's like a rocket. You've got to fan those flames to get that rocket into the stratosphere, into space. As cheesy as that sounds, by the way. Because right now you might just be existing, you know, and just existing, just surviving and getting by isn't the best life for you. By your own standards, I'm sure. So I want to leave you with that. Get out there and get your teeth into this world and just test yourself and see what you're capable of. I have many videos, by the way, on how to plan out a life plan, what beliefs and how to change your mind in the ways that will get you on more of this train. I also, right now, I'm not going to be recording videos as often anymore, but I am doing personal coaching for people. If you're interested in that kind of thing, you do want to take your life to the next level. I do enjoy it, and, you know, as try to say this in as much humility as I can, but I've me changing my own life in as drastic as a way as I have, people cannot recognize me physically, emotionally, or intellectually anymore. It's been really cool, to I guess be a witness of my own experience, even though that sounds a little bit prideful. Part of it is, obviously. But I've been able to change a lot of people's lives here in reality, not just through the camera, not just through the video screen. So if that's up your alley and you want to change your life in a fundamental way, I am right here. Click my link in the profile and whatever the fuck, and we can start a new adventure for you. Snap of the fingers. And the reason why I say that, and it's not to try to sell something or make some damn money. I make plenty of money out here, much more money than I could ever make coaching in the real world. I just know that in my beginning of business, I required people. I paid a coach, and by God, I don't charge this kind of money, but I paid a coach $7,750 a month. It was 2 coaches, actually, and I had 2 phone calls a week with them and full access to texting all the time. So that's a lot. I'm not offering that to anybody. I value my personal life and my real world business and time. But I paid coaches that for months on end, and they helped take my blinders off. They helped reveal to me what life could be like. They helped me see through my own shortcomings and my own bullshit negative beliefs that were compounded over my eyes, clouding my vision, that kept me in a more hollow and smaller world. And life is about living a grand life, not necessarily grand in an external way, but living true to you, living in a grand sense that fundamentally that you're the captain of your own ship and nothing can get you down. No matter what happens in life, no matter who dies, no matter who breaks up with you, no matter what happens, you're going to come out on top. That's the belief that people hold out here. And I didn't know that you could make that. I didn't know that you could have that. I thought you were born courageous. I thought leaders were just born. I thought people were born confident or born weak, and that's just how it is. But it's the farthest thing from the truth. People are made. Some people are made earlier. Some people are made much later. But still, if you're alive, you're capable of change. So I'll leave you with that. Enjoy your week, and cheers to your adventure. Bye.